tonight of NC Central, also in his 15th season with the Eagles. Lamar Simpson, Joe Lindsay, Bart Lennox are officials tonight. And off we go from JPJ. NC Central with the first possession in the black. Virginia defends in the white.
Talking with Tony Bennett, talked about all the different sets that North Carolina Central will run. That'll be a challenge for the Wahoos.
Kobe Haraway takes the first three and misses, and a rebound for Isaac McKneely. Starting lineup for the Cavaliers, Reese Beekman, #1 in the ACC in assists with 6 per game. Andrew Rohde comes off his best 2 scoring nights as a Cavalier. Beekman, the senior from Milwaukee, so important to this Cavaliers team. He elevates for a tray. And the weak side rebound for Perry Smith Jr. Starting 5 for the Eagles tonight. Terrence Crawford, the walk-on, makes his first career start. Some injuries for the Eagles to deal with. Po' Boy King is the top scorer at 15.5 per game.
Yeah, 3 starters missing and the 6th man missing. We'll talk about that as the game goes on.
Cavaliers 3-on-2 in transition. McKneely is open, and that is a mistake for the Eagles.
Started right where he left off with 22, a career high against Syracuse. McKneely is still feeling it.
We have a stoppage here as the officials work on the clock. There is Lavelle Moten. Was a player at NC Central, 3rd all-time in Eagles history with over 1,700 points. Took over the program back in 2009. First 2 years, 500 or below, but in 10 out of the last 12 years, winning seasons, Mac.
Yeah, and several conference titles, multiple regular season titles. He really has got this program back to its glory days.
Said he's really excited about the challenge of playing Virginia. Started the season on the road in Allen Fieldhouse against then #1 Kansas. 3 is short for Josh Smith, and Beekman controls for the Cavs. McKneely, a lot of space, buries it.
Just can't lose him. That'll drive Coach Moten crazy. On this other end, there they are playing without their point guard, without their best rebounder, and without their best 3-point shooter. They finally break the ice here.
Josh Smith with the 2, and NC Central trails by 4. So, Mac, you've been in these situations many times before, right, where you have key players out of the lineup. If you're NC Central, what do you do to combat some of those injuries you're facing?
Well, Coach Moten is looking for who else can step up. Maybe some of these guys haven't had necessarily a chance, but now they've got their opportunity on a very big stage.
Oh, Isaac McKneely, another splash down, and he is 3 for 3.
Not too big a stage for Isaac McKneely.
He said he knew coming into this season he'd have to take more shots, and he's finding the right ones. Perry Smith Jr. on the 2.
Nice little ball screen and roll right there.
All right, Mac, news flash. See 11 in white at the top of your screen. Don't leave them open.
Yeah. Get that. Terrence Crawford. What a job for a walk-on. Let's guard the 2nd best shooter in America.
Isaac McKneely, 4 for 4.
He may not be 2nd anymore after 4 straight.
Who else are we going to show here? I think it's Isaac McKneely, responsible for all the Cavaliers' points, and that rim is as big as an ocean right now. Cavaliers by 8 over the Eagles.
This holiday will be magical. This will be a Boar's Head holiday, where every detail is exceptional, with quality and craftsmanship worthy of the Boar's Head name, and a slow-roasted sweet slice of uncured ham, crafted for carving, brings everyone together with experiences worth sharing and moments worth savoring. Welcome to the magic of a Boar's Head holiday. Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.
Can't sleep.
Just a lot on my mind.
I can't sleep either.
It only gets tougher with age.
Mom, what?
Well, knowing Progressive can protect your home, auto, and business should help you relax.
Good, because I could use a good night's sleep.
Me too. You know how early a chimney sweep gets up every day?
Wait, is this all a dream?
Why would Jamie be in my dream?
I am America's biggest spokesperson.
Debatable.
I said biggest.
Well, he's got you there.
Beekman lays it in transition, and Virginia all of a sudden is up 10. Hey, the first person not named Isaac McKneely to score tonight for the Cavaliers.
What a start for the Polka, West Virginia native.
The ex-Polka Dots.
One of the top nicknames in American high schools.
No doubt about that.
We may talk about nicknames a little later, or actually real names.
That's right.
That sound like nicknames.
The guy defending the ball right now, Po' Boy King. Andrew Rohde, the former Tommy of St. Thomas, on a kick out. McKneely from the corner. The moans and the groans of the JPJ faithful, and on the other end, the slam. Keyshawn Porter in the game for NC Central.
That's one of the ways when you're struggling offensively to get going. Get something in transition where you got the numbers and the nice finish by Porter.
Porter started the first 5 games this season. Then Jadarius Harris became a starter. If you're just joining us, no Harris, no Fred Cleveland, no Manny Izunabor tonight for NC Central, 3 of their starters. Eagles trying to work their way back into the game. Maybe a good way to do that, get ahead of this UVA defense. Keyshawn Porter ahead of the pack.
Occur for his teammates.
Oh, and how about this back cut here?
Yeah, out of the timeout. You think Tony Bennett has something up his sleeve?
But isn't that smart coaching, right? You saw your guy hit 4 threes. You know NC Central is going to guard the perimeter.
100%.
And now you go inside with that guy.
100%. That's why the guy hung that national championship banner and a bunch of others.
Shot clock down to 5 here for the Eagles. Josh Smith on a pass down low and sticking in the layup down low. It is Perry Smith.
Yeah, the help got there just a little bit late. Just missed that pass. Gave up the easy basket. Nice execution by the Eagles.
When you've watched the Eagles offense throughout the season, what do you see?
They're aggressive. They really attack. They really attack on both ends. And that's kind of their identity. Play really hard and be aggressive on both ends.
We spoke with Coach Moten before the game, and he said, you know, some of the pillars of our program throughout the year, we're really gritty, may not have the talent that other guys have, but we play really hard, and he's trying to institute that with this really fresh roster that he has this season.
Yeah, and there was that aggression I showed you that we talked about. Penetration, the help has to come, bounce inside for the easy basket. And not much comes easy against this Virginia defense. Here's the penetration. See the help up the lane. And then Perry Smith with another easy basket.
Smith with 6 early points here.
He's a really good offensive rebounder. He's been the 6th man, of course, pressed into duty here tonight. The Vermont transfer.
Had a career-high 17 points, all in the second half in NC Central's last game against USC Upstate. That was a 3-point loss back on Saturday.
Yeah, that's where they started losing some of their players to injury, and Smith took advantage of that and had a really good half and in a close loss to USC Upstate.
And a lane violation, and one more free throw for Andrew Rohde. Those are the mistakes you can't make on the road against this Cavaliers team.
Yeah, the margin for error is very small, and control the things you can control.
0 for 3. Counts as 0 for 2. Some changes here for the Cavaliers. Nice hand for Elijah Gertrude, who wears number 12 in white, the freshman who was planning on redshirting this season. But with the injury to Dante Harris in practice last week, sprained his right ankle. They have burned the red shirt for Gertrude, and really is an athletic player for this Cavaliers team.
Yeah, he got loose for a couple baskets against Syracuse that'll be on the highlight tape at the end of this season.
Finished with 6 against the Orange. Blake Buchanan also in. Leon Bond as well.
We saw Bond have a huge game against North Carolina A&T last time you and I were here.
How about the athleticism from Gertrude?
Right on cue. He gets from one end to the other in a hurry.
A lot of raw tools that Coach Bennett loves. Smith, too short. McKneely gobbles it up. Isaac McKneely with 14 points, 2 rebounds. He's played 7 minutes. Brody sprints on the kick. Gertrude from the perimeter this time. Offensive rebound for Buchanan. McKneely from way downtown.
His feet were on the saber against Syracuse on one of his threes on Saturday.
He was hitting them from Bodo's Bagels.
Good local reference. And good bagels.
Oh, yeah. Timmy Adediri's in the game for NC Central. Here's a big swat inside. Shot clock down to 3. And the miss from King. Buchanan cleans it up.
Coach Bennett getting to look at a lot of different combinations here early in this one.
Bond on the ISO. Zips a bounce pass to McKneely. Buchanan on the pump. Shot clock melts down to 6. Rhodey, no hesitation. Why not?
Rhodey, you see a conundrum there. He's such a good three-point shooter, but he's like 3 for 8 from the free throw line on the year. He's too close in there.
Yeah, more comfortable on the outside. 5 threes already for the Cavaliers. McKneely, who's been much better defensively as well this season, moving his feet very well, according to Coach Bennett. Another late shot clock situation for the Eagles. And they can it here with Josh Smith.
It's really nice. It's a score at Independence Community College in Kansas.
So the 2 Smiths have combined for 11 of the 13 for the Eagles. NC Central shows some man-to-man, some zone, 2-3, 1-3-1, 3-2. Coach Bennett prepared for everything tonight. Bond muscles his way in and rattles it down.
An interesting guy. Got some real bounce to him. Can post up. Got nice mid-range. He's very active. I swear he plays bigger than he's listed.
Yeah, 6'5". It's crazy. Aggressive hedge on the ball screen. A turnover. Gertrude up and down.
Ryan Dunn has some cuts in the second half, and we know how good they are.
Yeah, and then a couple of games later against Georgia on the road in Athens, NC Central was tied at 32 in the second half. Georgia used a 13-2 run, took control of the game, but they've been competitive, and heck, they were competitive last year at John Paul Jones Arena to begin the season. So Lavelle Moten, 15th year as the head coach, he knows what he's doing on that sideline.
Yeah, very well respected nationally, and he's had a lot of opportunities to leave, but he loves the culture at North Carolina Central.
Poetry in Moten, his nickname from his playing days with NC Central in the 90s. All right, Mac, Eagles trailing by a dozen here. They haven't fallen behind by 20 or 25 early here. What could they do to keep improving as this first half continues?
Well, they're executing against one of the best defenses in America. This is better than anything they can ever do in practice, and this will give them confidence if they can have some success here in Charlottesville tonight.
You know, Tony Bennett, the head coach for UVA, he spoke about this following the game against Syracuse and playing some really talented athletic guards like J.J. Starling and Judah Mintz. They really packed that paint in and forced Syracuse to take the outside shot. They didn't make it. If a team is packing the paint as aggressively as UVA does, like what do you do?
Well, you've got to move the basketball, then you've got to move people.
Bond on the fade.
That's kind of what he did last time we saw him. He could post up, make a move, be aggressive to the rim, or that nice little touch from the 10-foot mark.
At the career-high 16 points against NC A&T back on November 14th, 8 of 10 from the floor. Adediri with the miss. Virginia with numbers. Beekman swerves and scores.
He's never out of control. You know, he really was the difference in the Syracuse game. I know McKneely had 22 points, but Beekman made the offense go.
He's so seasoned. 4th year as a Cavalier. He's gone from role player to the extreme limelight.
So good on both ends of the floor. And doesn't have to score a point to be good offensively.
He's got 4 points right now, 2 of 3 from the floor. He's efficient. Never feels like he's trying to do too much. Bond from the elbow. Cashes in.
That's what we were talking about, the mid-range. It's kind of old school. I like old school.
You do.
Like anything old.
6 points now for Bond. He's perfect from the field. Guy Fauntleroy is in the game, number 1 in black. Sophomore from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Single digits on the shot clock. And it's swatted away. Leon Bond with the rejection. 3-on-3 we go the other way. Beekman to Gertrude. Lines it up. And misses off to the right. Rebound for Perry Smith.
It's a great time to shoot the 3, though. In transition, the defense flattens out, and all of a sudden you've got a wide-open 3-point shot at the arc.
Well, the Cavaliers were 4 of 4 to start with Isaac McKneely. Down to 5 for 11. I think Coach Bennett would still take that margin percentage.
Got to get the ball side to side.
Yeah, you said ball movement is key against this defense for UVA.
You leave it on one side, you'll never get in there.
Nearly with the English. It was Josh Smith who couldn't get it off the window. Beekman showcasing the handles. Tane Murray is in the game. 10 in white, the junior from Auckland, New Zealand. Buchanan, who started a couple of games this season, fumbles it and forfeits possession. NC Central in transition, but a turnover. Fauntleroy's pass is too low.
We talked about Leon Bond on the other end, had 16 against North Carolina A&T. He can also play a little bit on the defensive end. Watch this.
Not your older brother's Cavaliers. A lot of fresher faces getting the job done for the Who's this season.
Yeah, and we talked about this the last time we were here, the continuity that is the Virginia program, but with only 3 returning guys that played a lot, they were going to depend on the youth, and fortunately, they are contributing in a big way.
You know, you go back to the Syracuse game on Saturday, UVA won by over 20 points. Out of the 200 available minutes in that game, 129 of them were played by either first-year or second-year players. So it just shows you the trust that Coach Bennett has in these young guys.
Yeah, we talked about that with him in the pregame meeting, where he is developing that trust in what he can count on them to do night in and night out.
Oh boy, King, the top scorer on the team, back in the game, misses off the back rim. And the rebound for Ryan Dunn.
It was nice execution to get the little floater in the lane. Couldn't knock it down, but that was what Coach Moten is looking for from an execution standpoint. Virginia with 11 assists on the 13 field goals they've made.
Could this be another dime? No. Offensive rebound and a foul. Good activity underneath from Dunn.
He inevitably makes 4 or 5 plays in a game where you just go, wow. And this is one. He's wrestling, but he elevates above everybody else to come down with the ball.
I love that he's listed as a guard, too. That always makes me smile.
Yeah. That sounds like part of the recruiting process right there.
You can dribble the ball. We're going to name you a guard. Groves sets the screen. Beekman. And the rebound for Po Boy King. Still scoreless tonight.
Virginia has paid a lot of attention to Po Boy.
And it's not Beekman defending him. Right now, it's Rhodey.
Yeah, it's been Rhodey a lot.
The hedge works again for the Cavs. Disruption and a steal. McKneely dishes ahead. Done on a trampoline.
Did I mention he does something 4 or 5 times a game?
That's 2.
Yeah. I may have underestimated.
You may see 10 or 11 of those types of plays tonight. Cavaliers by 20.
And some of the things he does, doesn't necessarily show up on the highlight film. He can really guard the basketball. He can stay between his man and the basket. Beekman again with another steal. McKneely with the heads up. The finish.
Yeah.
He finished that dunk like you finish a broadcast. Spectacular.
Oh, you're so kind. Whatever you ate for breakfast this morning, keep eating that, right? Tomorrow, it's a doubleheader for men's college hoops on ACC Network. First, it's Rutgers taking on Wake Forest in North Carolina at 6 Eastern. And South Carolina faces number 24 Clemson to wrap up the night. P.J. Hall, the ACC Player of the Week. Clemson 7-0, 18th in the net right now, number 1 of any ACC team.
Yeah, Clemson and Virginia are the top 2 in the net in the ACC. I don't know if anybody had that on their bingo card preseason.
No. Not on mine.
Big lineup out there for Tony Bennett right now.
Got Jordan Minor in the game, 22 in white, the Merrimack transfer. And Groves and Dunn. Here's a steal. Po' boy King, Your Majesty.
That'll get him going. Rhodey at 6'6", playing the point. St. Thomas transfer. Coach Bennett talked about playing point guard by committee, and we're seeing it live here tonight.
And with no Dante Harris. On the back cut, Dunn lays it in.
Beautiful pass by Groves.
You know, sometimes you don't need a point guard, right? When you have bigs that can pass the ball like that.
The point center. Little Princeton-like action right there.
Give the assist to Groves. First-year Cavalier, moving over from Oklahoma, prior to that Eastern Washington. Josh Smith, freelancing, too short. Good defense, McKneely bodies up. Po' boy King is the top scorer for NC Central at 15.5 per game. Had yet to score before this jam.
Everybody else. So I think they're certainly trending in the right way. Ranked for the first time in one of the polls. And like you mentioned, number 2 in the net in the ACC.
Right now, the de facto number 26 team in the nation. The AP poll. Shot clock at 3. Minor on a kick out. Bond has to hoist and banks it in. It is going UVA's way tonight.
The look on his face said it all.
It's like he's disappointed in himself.
Yes, he is disappointed in himself.
It's like, ah, man. Hey, man, still 3 points on the board. And that's his first 3. So congrats to him. It doesn't always go the way you painted it in your head.
That's what he's thinking.
Seconds trickling down. 1-footer for King. No dice. Minor cleans it up.
Really run the point and leading the team in assists with 4.
Beekman on the bench right now. McKneely had a notion. Minor squeezes inside. Can't finish. And the rebound for Perry Smith.
Yeah, good job by Perry Smith bodying up in there.
And they'll count the 2. Tell you what, the Eagles have run the floor pretty aggressively throughout the night.
Yeah, and that was part of the plan for Coach Moten. They're always aggressive on the offensive end. And there it was. He did not call it. We confirmed that, and look at the face.
Yucky.
Oh, you can't be unhappy with that ball going in, regardless.
When I'm at the YMCA and I hit that shot, I'm jumping for joy.
Yeah, but you're not very good. He's good.
Oh.
Perfect on the night. 4 for 4, 1 for 1. He should pay us to come. He had 16 last time we were here.
Yeah. I mean, I'll come back regardless, but.
Yeah, so will I.
All right, so now Dunn takes it up the court. So here you go, point guard by committee approach.
Here's Rhodey out again. Of course, Gertrude's in there, and he has some experience. More of a combo kind of guy. Closer to that than anybody else.
Gertrude tries the triple. Nylon.
Shooters keep shooting. That looked good going in.
And that is Elijah Gertrude's first career 3.
Well, the trend, we said 0-6-12, so he's on his way.
That's right. 0 points against A&M, 6 against Syracuse. Offensive foul, and Gertrude gets a round of applause from the Cavaliers bench.
Little corner fade screen by McKneely. Gets Gertrude wide open. And when they moved that line back, a lot of folks step out of bounds right there.
So our officiating crew tonight, Lamar Simpson, Joe Lindsay, and Bart Lennox, are reviewing this last play to see if it may have been a flagrant foul. 41-19 our score. Virginia leads NC Central, the second all-time meeting between these two teams. Here's the play once again. Po' Boy King on the ball.
Oh, right there when he swung his arms up high.
So for you, is that a natural basketball act?
Well, it can be, although most folks swing it through at a lower level, but taking the ball above the head, you always run that risk. It did not look intentional to me, but it still could be flagrant. Yeah, they may get flagrant right there. Again, it doesn't look intentional. It looks like a basketball move, but when you make contact above the neck, you take that risk.
So the offensive player is responsible here, essentially.
Well, we'll see if the defense is in the cylinder, which I don't think he was. No, he wasn't in the cylinder of protection that's afforded the offensive player. So once he steps outside of that, that's probably going to be a flagrant foul.
Well, of importance, it is the second foul on Po' Boy King. Top scorer for NC Central, just 2 points tonight, 1 of 5 from the floor.
Yeah, they have certainly struggled, and this was what we expected.
Joe Lindsay comes over to chat with us.
So off the review, it's a cylinder foul on 12-point. He's got his hands on. It's a cylinder violation. So the foul's not on the black tip, it's on white 12. It's going to be a black ball on the sideline.
Okay, that's exactly what we were talking about, the cylinder. And one I wasn't paying attention to, his body was not in the cylinder, but his hands were in the cylinder. So the foul's going to be on Gertrude. Watch him put his face, see his hands on him? His hands on his body, so that violated the cylinder. That puts the foul on the defense no matter what the offense does.
You agree with that there?
Yeah, it makes sense now that I look at his hands. His body was not in that cylinder, and he didn't get in there that way, but his hands were on the body of
King.
Po' Boy King.
And so that's important as well. Like we mentioned, King had the 2 fouls. Now it drops back down to 1. Harry Smith has been the best player so far tonight for NC Central. Haraway tosses it up and misses. Dunn collects. Dunn is badgered here by Porter. Good defense.
Really good defense.
Now the 4th-year junior.
Keyshawn Porter has been very good. Oh, he was wanting that charge.
From Pine Tops, North Carolina, about 90 minutes away from Durham. Started his career at Radford, moved on to Cape Fear Community College in Wilmington. His first season with NC Central. A minute to go here in our opening half. Virginia at 63% from the floor, 17 of 27. Beekman back in. Bond to Buchanan. 5 on the timer. Buchanan misses. Bond slaps. Haraway's got it.
King can get going. Trying to jumpstart himself.
A little 2-for-1 situation. But the differential is just at 4 here as the Cavaliers slowly bring it across. 14 points from McKneely, leads all scores. Beekman assesses. Opts to take the ball screen from Buchanan. The hedge from NC Central. Fires it to Bond. Off 1 foot. Misses. 2 seconds to go in the half. At midcourt. Smith. Too strong. Is in for NC Central, and we are underway in the second half. Isaac McKneely led all scorers with 14 in the first 20.
Porter's done a much better job on McKneely.
And the quick 4 threes on a fade from 2-point land misses. And a rebound from Porter.
Right on schedule.
Perry Smith was tops for NC Central with 6 in the first half. This is to the perimeter for Haraway. Misses. Offensive rebound for Josh Smith. UVA +6 in the opening half on the glass.
Yeah, that's only the second offensive rebound. I know that'll please Tony Bennett that it's been that low a number. That's the one place that really stood out to him that they needed to improve.
Yeah, the Cavaliers on average -4 in the rebounding margin, which so far early in the season is last in the ACC. And he admitted to us during our pregame conversation, our team doesn't have a lot of physicality, strength, size. We have to use our athleticism on the glass.
Yeah, athleticism and positioning, and that's what they've done tonight. They've done a nice job of blocking out.
And battling and winning it with Rhodey.
Gang rebounding. You can't out-jump them, out-number them.
Beekman goes all the way to the basket, an easy deuce.
I just love watching him play. The game looks so easy to him.
Sometimes it's like watching him on ice skates. Moves so fluidly on the court.
He's one of those guys who can be going really fast and not look like he's trying to go fast. He's totally under control with that basketball.
You know, Beekman's always been a guy who's been one of the guys. Here's the rebounding margins for Virginia throughout the season. +6 against Syracuse, first time that the Cavaliers rebounded the opponent. In the open floor, Dunn attacks the rack, and that rim is experiencing an earthquake.
Steal from Beekman, assist by Beekman, dunk by Dunn. Probably not the last time we'll say that this season.
No. I venture to say we'll use that a whole bunch. Oh boy, King, 35 in black, only 2 points in the first half. Down the lane. That was a contested jumper. Sweltering defense from Rhodey, who gets poked in the left eye. And the officiating crew stops play.
Yeah, Rhodey has drawn that defensive assignment for the most part and has done a really good job against King. Oh, yeah, everybody going for the basketball. Keyshawn Porter's been really active on both ends of the floor since he's gotten in the game. Mentioned from Pine Tops, North Carolina. That's a great name for North Carolina, right?
Mm-hmm.
Over in eastern North Carolina, over near Rocky Mount.
And he's a guy who can really score. He had 41 points in a game in community college. I know it's a different level, but it just shows you what he can do on the offensive end. Here's a turnover from the Cavs. Oh boy, King. And there's McKneely. Good, solid defense. 3-on-1. Beekman to the rim. Groves.
Groves doing a nice job of running the floor. Not a typical center. but he fits in well with his skill set.
Graduate student, good size at 6'9". Kings 3, misfire, and Dunn hustles. Elijah Gertrude set to check in. McKneely near his own bench, rattles it down. McKneely with 5 threes.
I think Beekman has an assist on every basket this half, except the one he made.
Picks his spot so well. Now he agitates Guy Fauntleroy at midcourt. Maximum effort at all times.
And Central's effort has been there. Just have not been able to get the ball in the basket on a regular basis.
And they do here with Smith.
Smith's been kind of the exception from the very beginning. He has finished around the rim in traffic.
And just to remind everybody, NC Central is down 3 starters tonight. Fred Cleveland, their top distributor. Jadarius Harris, their top 3-point shooter. And their starting center, Manny Izunabor, their top rebounder.
Yeah, that's tough.
Brody spills off. And the rebound for Haraway.
You know, coming up here to play Virginia in Charlottesville is tough enough duty. Now you got to come shorthanded, almost impossible. Yet they've continued to battle.
Porter, air ball. And Rhodey loses it, but at last touches an Eagle. Virginia has hit 4 of its last 5 shots. And the guy who's been the recipient of many great Reese Beekman passes.
Now, these guys, we talked about the athleticism and the need to use it. They are getting out and getting those easy baskets. That'll lead you to 60% field goal shooting, which Tony Bennett will take every single night.
Gertrude has been fantastic off the bench with 7 points. Dunn, a starter, perfect from the field with 6, 3 of 3. Everybody contributing tonight for UVA.
See if Blake Buchanan can get going here a little bit. I thought he and Minor might have a little more impact on this game in the first half. Neither one had a lot going on in that first half. See if they do here in the second half. They've got a size advantage down low.
Buchanan without a point so far as Beekman is fouled. Virginia makes just its 2nd trip to the free throw line, 0 of 2.
Yeah, nobody's shooting any free throws in this thing very much.
So Beekman goes to the line on his career, just over 77.5% from the free throw line. Virginia as a team just below 70%. That's 12th out of 15 in the ACC. Sunday, it's a women's basketball doubleheader on ACC Network. First at noon, it's Florida Gulf Coast taking on Duke, followed by Kentucky versus number 18 Louisville. Catch all the action on the ESPN app as well. Kiki Jefferson off to a great start in her Louisville career, averaging 12 per game, transfer from James Madison. Just about 5 minutes gone by here in the second half. UVA's lead is up to 32. Loose ball picked up and a score for Smith.
Harry Smith from Augusta, Georgia. Beekman with the ball. Came into the night, 48 assists and 11 turnovers. Incredible percentage tonight. 4 more assists, no turnovers.
12th in the nation in assist to turnover ratio coming in. Gertrude, oh man, that is pretty.
Tony Bennett said he just saw something in him, and he said that athleticism made him think he's going to be a great defender one day.
4-star recruit, Hudson Catholic Regional High School from Jersey City.
Hudson Catholic.
Fauntleroy, a high arcing 3. Loose ball, it finds Smith. He's got magnets on his hands.
He really has played well.
He's got half their points.
Hudson Catholic. There's been some good players in this league from Hudson Catholic. Remember Michael Corrin from North Carolina before your time?
Oh, come on, my time. What are you talking about?
You're part of the country up there.
Yeah.
Baseline drive, head up, presence of mind to know where the defense was.
I know it's a small thing. He's playing his third game of college, and he didn't rush that reverse line.
Not at all.
I mean?
Not at all. That's what I talked about, the presence of mind, just to be calm about it. And he got open by being really explosive with that first step.
He gets closer to that 12-point benchmark you said he'd have tonight. Didn't have a point in his first game, 6 the second. Simple math.
Yeah, it made total sense to me.
Of course, Beekman with the swipe. Beekman accelerates, bolting to the right. Oh, it's stamped on the backboard. The putback is in for Bond. Great hustle from Porter, though.
Yeah, great hustle. Porter, we talked about how well he's played since he came in this game. And Bond, of course, running the floor, too, the redshirt freshman.
Zips to the free throw line, hacked on the way up, and scores through the contact.
Cape Fear Community College. He is going against one of the great defenders, bodies him up a little bit, creates some space. To Cape Fear down near Wilmington.
One of 11 newcomers to this NC Central team. It's going to take time for this team to gel, and they've survived the early portions of the schedule at 4 and 5. It's not like they're 2 and 7 right now.
No, and they've played some good basketball too, and they've had a chance to win a couple more. They followed up every loss with a win. That streak's going to end tonight.
Lavelle Moten, his 15th year as the NC Central head coach, has brought this team to 4 NCAA tournaments, 2014, 17, 18, and 19. McKneely on the bounce. Bond swarmed on a triple. Gertrude. And a loose ball foul. Will stay right here. And Harry Smith looks at the officiating crew and turns his head and says, come on.
These guys, we mentioned them playing shorthanded, but of course these guys are all getting more extended minutes too.
And Coach Moten said that's kind of the bright spot of this game. And as you noted during our conversation with Coach Moten, NC Central is not in line for an at-large selection in the NCAA tournament. This is about building towards the MEAC tournament in March.
Everything is March when you're in a one-bid league.
McKneely on the contested jumper.
He's really improved his handling. Certainly he's a more confident player.
He's up to 17 points, 6 away from establishing another new career high. At the 22 against Syracuse back on Saturday. Off the flare screen. Rising for the jumper, that's short. Bond the rebound, and will stay right here. Off the miss from Smith.
Porter was lobbying hard, making sure that wasn't on him.
Andrew Rohde back in the game, taking out Elijah Gertrude. Josh Smith, the recipient of the inbound, and puts it down.
That's really nice. And again, typical of North Carolina Central basketball, attacking, aggressive. Here it is, little curl. And Tane Murray got there a little late. He was guarding the ball out of bounds, should have stepped in.
And we talk about the experience for NC Central that is gained tonight. You could say the same for a guy like Murray.
They're both facing similar situations. Virginia with 3 players who played a year ago. Central with 4, but no starters coming back for North Carolina Central.
Crazy. Returned just 15% of their points from last season. Virginia only returns 28% of its points. But some guys who were with the program a season ago, expanding their roles. McKneely fouled at midcourt. Josh Smith. You know, and it's all about these mini games too, right? We mentioned this earlier in our show. Start of the season at #1 Kansas, NC Central loses 99-56. But the Eagles only get outscored by 2 in the second half. I'm sure Coach Moten would love to see that same type of effort tonight.
That's exactly what he's looking for.
Bond uses the pivot foot on the turn. That is an incredibly difficult shot. He made it look easy.
Oh, he did. And he just explodes up above the defender no matter where the situation is. And from 15 feet and in, deadly. And we've seen him make a 3.
Yeah.
It was off the glass. He wasn't happy with it, but it still counted.
Well, Tony Bennett's going to be more than happy with his effort tonight. 13 points, 6 of 7 with 5 rebounds, 2 assists. McKneely rips the cords. Isaac McKneely now has 22 points, which ties his career high. He's 6 of 8 from 3. He was also 6 of 8 from 3 against Syracuse.
Back-to-back games. One led him to a 1-0 record in the league.
Smith slicing, missing. Bond with the rebound. And you get the sense that McKneely's time's running out. See if he can get a basket. Buchanan adjusts and puts it down.
He had some success earlier in the season.
At the 18-point game against Florida at the Spectrum Center in Charlotte. And a timeout from NC Central. Leon Bonds, student athlete at this university. You got to give these guys a lot of credit for what they do on and off the court.
Yeah, exam time can be stressful at the better academic schools, and certainly UVA fits that category.
Next game for the Cavaliers, December 16th at home against Northeastern. You can watch that game on ACC Network, 6 p.m.
3 non-conference games left before they get into the heat of the ACC play.
Notre Dame is the next ACC opponent coming up December 30th. NC Central trying to build up some steam before this time runs out. And nearly a shot clock violation. And then the trees show up with Buchanan and Bond.
Yeah, it's a little size advantage right there. With a couple of freshmen in there contesting.
Brody to the slipping Buchanan.
Wow, his 6th assist. Brody with great vision.
He had 3 assists against A&M, 4 against Syracuse.
And that was a small window, as they say in the NFL.
Yeah, finding that tight end over the middle. Oh boy, King dashes, misses, and it fortuitously falls right in his lap.
Hey, or you could say he hustled and followed it up.
It's been a rough night for him. 4 points, 2 of 12 now from the floor, but sticking with it. King actually played AAU ball for Rasheed Wallace's team. And Sheed is a good friend of Lavelle Moten's. And Sheed actually goes to NC Central games. Brody on a line drive dart misses. Dunn is called for the foul. Well, normally, oh boy King puts the ball in the basket with ease. It has been difficult tonight. Cavaliers by 35 over the Eagles. Last week wrapped up the inaugural ACC SEC Men's Basketball Challenge. We saw a lot of parity in this competition, both conferences winning 7, but the lower ranked teams getting wins. It's pretty interesting to investigate.
Yeah, I don't know how you can even predict early in the season games like this, and that the chaos that ensued in the ACC SEC Challenge is evidence of that.
Virginia beat number 14 Texas A&M last Wednesday, 59-47, and really enjoyed watching that and looking forward to seeing that competition for years to come. So there's Elijah Gertrude. If you've been watching him over the last couple of games, he normally wears number 12, but you could see a little bit of a gash on his nose, and so there was some blood, so he has changed to number 55. Does not have a name on the back of his jersey. But that is Mr. Gertrude.
A witness protection program.
Well, if he starts to go off in this number, they have to think about a numeral change.
Little zone action for the first time for North Carolina Central.
Yeah, Tony Bennett said they have a lot of different defenses available. Gertrude. No space. Fades, though. Misses. Buchanan. And it's slapped out of bounds. Nice hustle there from Smith.
Yeah, Perry Smith has played a really good basketball game. There's Bond with the defensive play, but in the background, blocking out. They caught a piece of Elijah Gertrude's nose.
And Ethan Saliba, the athletic trainer, the busy man for the Cavs.
Appears to be no worse for the wear. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Elijah Gertrude is now in double figures with 11, 5 of 9.
1 point away from being on schedule.
Yes.
0, 6, 12 in his first 3 games.
It's a natural progression. Porter, a one-hander. Skied it too strong. Bond with the rebounds.
Porter doesn't have a lot statistically to tell you how well he has played here tonight on both ends of the floor.
I'm with you there. Jordan Minor is in the game, as is Tane Murray. Bond peeling, missing. Rebound, Josh Smith.
Big lineup for Virginia right now with Minor and Buchanan on the floor at the same time.
Oh. And a late foul is called. Gertrude in disbelief. Coach Bennett says he has some work to do on the defensive end, but on the offensive end, his game appears to be pristine on a step-back jab. By Always Right, Tennessee Rainwater, Supreme Cook, and Churchill Bounds. What a great list.
I love Churchill Bounds. I know he's down there at 5th, but I really like that one the best.
Well, there are some incredible stories. So Tennessee Rainwater, you'd think he's from, I don't know, Nashville or Knoxville. He's not from there. He's from Davenport, Washington.
Oh, gosh.
And then Always Right, he has a younger brother by the name of All.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Now, for Po' Boy King, he's got a really interesting middle name as well. His middle name is I-S-Z-A-H. So you might look at it and think, Isaiah, right? It's Izza.
Po' Boy is the king.
That's right.
I love it. I love it.
He's one of 6, and Mom and Dad had a competition. If it was a girl, Mom would get to name the child. If it was a boy, Dad would get to name the child. And Po' Boy's father had a friend by the name of Po Charlie. And he liked Po' Boys, so he named his son Po' Boy. Spoke to Po' Boy in shoot-around this afternoon. He said, I've never had a Po' Boy before. How can that be?
Yeah, that's wrong. That's just wrong. Somebody needs to fix that. And you mentioned it should be part of an NIL deal.
Serve it on a platter. Now, he's a really good personality. Great chatting with him this morning.
An outstanding player, although you haven't seen it here tonight because of Virginia's defense.
Overall, NC Central shooting at just 29% from the floor. And even there, so we saw that in the first half. Bond banks in a 3. He's unhappy. He hits it off the back rim, gets the kind roll, and he's still unhappy.
Yeah, he wants to play even better, and he's playing darn well.
He's got 14 points. And Minor commits the foul here on Porter.
Porter 7 points, 5 rebounds, but he's been on the floor more times than anybody tonight.
He's logged a lot of minutes as well, 31 of them this evening. ACC PM with Mark Packer and Taylor Tannenbaum, weekdays from Mark's Charlotte studio in his basement at 4 Eastern. We'll continue talking college football and have the latest from around the conference right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. You said you wanted to see some more from Buchanan here in the waning moments of the game.
Buchanan and Minor both, they have a size advantage. And they've had a little more success. Buchanan, especially here in the second half, had a couple nice baskets down low. I'd like to see him use that size, though, like that. The pass from Minor, the finish by Buchanan.
Freshman from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, about 35 minutes east of Spokane. Played on the same AAU program as Jake Rose. Oh boy. Too strong. And Murray skies for the board.
Gertrude getting some extended minute at the point guard spot. That'll do nothing but help this Virginia basketball team.
Oh, that's a tough step back that he puts right through. 13 points.
See why he was a 4-star recruit, huh?
Yeah. Now, he's eclipsed 12 points. You said he'd be on schedule with 12.
Yeah.
Does that still count or no?
Yeah, we're counting it.
All right.
Counting it.
Josh Smith surveys. Perry Smith sets the screen.
It's a really good job stepping on that screen by Buchanan.
And Fauntleroy is fouled. Gertrude. Yeah, he doesn't like it.
Yeah, can't bail him out. Can't even take a chance on bailing him out.
But on offense,
watch this little step back create just enough space. That shot looks pure. Back the defender off. Really nice play. The freshman went from redshirting to starring in just about 2 weeks.
But you can tell Tony Bennett doesn't love the foul that he just committed.
No, you can't do that. You know, you bail him out. 0.7 of a second on the shot clock. He's taking a tough shot. Don't even come close. Even if you didn't foul him, shouldn't be in the vicinity.
And this is a 40-minute basketball game. You go back to Saturday, Virginia had a lead of over 30. Syracuse goes on a 10-0 run, closes the gap to around 20 with just about 4 minutes to go. And Tony Bennett was not happy. He was pretty much yelling at his bench, step up the effort. Nice bounce. Minor can't finish.
Yeah, you don't have Tony Bennett's record by coasting down the stretch of any game.
A win tonight, it's 349 for him at UVA.
Fauntleroy. A shot fake, step back three.
The former governor of Austin Peay, his first season with NC Central. Murray rockets it. Gertrude unloads. And the rebound for Kai Dixon in the game for the first time, the junior from Toronto. Josh Smith elevates. And it falls to Minor. Again, if you're just joining us, NC Central out of the MEAC picked third in the conference, only behind Howard and Norfolk State. But the Eagles are down 3 starters tonight, including their top distributor, Fred Cleveland, their top 3-point shooter, Jadarius Harris, and Manny Izunabor, their top rebounder. Buchanan fouled by Dixon. Virginia trying to wrap it up here against NC Central.
Yeah, that was an interesting hire. Jay Batt, the new AD there, used to work with him at East Carolina University, and that was an out of the box thinking hire, and it looks like it's paying some dividends early. And of course, a great player with great contacts. We'll see how that goes, but that was a big W for the Yellow Jackets.
Stoudemire spent 5 years as the head coach of Pacific, a couple of years on the Celtics staff. Who haven't you worked with, by the way?
When you're old, you've worked with a lot of people.
I think you just attract a lot of good personality.
There you go.
That's what we could say. So Georgia Tech with back-to-back wins over ranked teams. Mississippi State number 21 before that. First time since the 2016-17 seasons. Kai Dixon at the line, 6'7" junior from Canada. Tonight at 10 Eastern, the Nothing But Net crew will break down the day in the ACC with highlights and analysis of all the men's games and look ahead at the best games on the schedule in the coming week. That's coverage you can only find in one spot, right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Jim Boeheim's now a media personality.
Yeah, who would have thought that?
Not me. I heard rave reviews, though, from him this weekend.
Two things in there. You got media personality. You got all kind of questions come up. I'm sure he'll love it. Could be on the other side of those questions.
Exactly. Dixon hammered on his way to the cup.
We got some good studio folks. You know, you start mentioning, you'll leave somebody else, but Luke Hancock does a good job, and on the women's side, Kelly Gramlich is as good as anybody. I enjoy some of those shows.
The amateurs like me certainly learn a lot. Spector, Mac McCarthy with you. Appreciate you stopping by on ACC Network Extra. Lavelle Moten leaves this game, and what exactly is he thinking?
Well, he's got a lot of film to show. A lot of things to show this team that, you know, that you just can't simulate in practice. And I think he'll feel a little sense of pride, too, in the way they battled. Not the way they executed things. That left something to be desired really on both ends. They let McKneely get going to start with. Haven't really gotten a lot of great looks offensively, but they have battled the entire game. Whoever he has put in the game has played hard.
And look, we'll acknowledge this, right? Beekman's not in the game at this juncture. Isaac McKneely hasn't played in a long time. But again, you look at just the second half numbers, and right now, NC Central, in just the second half, only trails Virginia by 8.
Yeah, not a win, but a win.
Right. Fauntleroy's free throw is through. Tristan Howe is in the game, the walk-on from Virginia Beach. Scored his first 2 points of the year against Syracuse back on Saturday.
That was very popular, by the way, watching that game.
Oh, yeah. Bryce Walker is also in, the junior from Beltsville, Maryland. His first year on the roster, spent a few years as a practice player. Murray, I think he was looking for Walker. Instead, Minor takes it. Can't score. NC Central has it here with Adediri. Timmy Adediri, who played the small ball 5 in the game against USC Upstate, and he's just at 6'4". In the absence of Manny Zunabor, redshirt senior from Fayetteville, North Carolina, who's been sick for the last 2 games. And, you know, we talked about how Cleveland, Harris, and Zunabor are out tonight. Those are 3 starters, but they're also 3 guys who are now in their 5th year of college. So they've seen some things. Fauntleroy's 3.
Good-looking long-range shots.
Fauntleroy been playing pretty well. 11 points, the 3rd Eagle in double figures. Harry Smith leads the club with 12. Virginia looking to hit 80 points for the 2nd consecutive game. Bryce Walker off the window, too strong. Overall, the 40 minutes tonight, Tony Bennett pretty pleased?
Oh, I think so. I think so. Got off to a really good start. He saw some contributions off the bench, extended minutes for Gertrude, and he came through with flying colors on both ends of the floor. Bond played well again off the bench. Rhodey showed that he can run the point if necessary.
And Buchanan comes off the bench and splinters the net. Buchanan now with 9.
Buchanan's size would be very helpful if he can get to the point where Coach Bennett trusts him to go in there and play well.
Buchanan started a couple of games. That assignment goes back to Jake Rhodes at the 5 spot. Shot clock at 4. Fauntleroy, a tape measure job that goes out of bounds. And so the shot clock goes dark, and pretty much does it here from John Paul Jones Arena tonight.
Virginia probably won't shoot this basketball.
And so the Cavaliers improved to 8-1 on the season. The Eagles dropped to 4-6. Isaac McKneely zapped the Eagles early with 4 threes on 4 tries. Finishes with 22 to tie his career high. And Virginia, in back-to-back years, takes down NC Central tonight by a final score of 77-47.
Yeah, Virginia